Hey you guys, today we are going to compare, subtract, and add fractions. We're going to put them all together and see how we can use them. We are going to be on page 368 in your Volume 2 Math Expression book. And we are going to do two problems together to model for you, problems number 19 and problem number 22. So then you can understand what you need to do for practice. So let me get a piece of paper here. And the first thing it says, so I just wrote up here, Volume 2, page 368, and we're going to do problem 19. It says, compare each pair of mixed numbers, then subtract the smaller one from the larger. So I'm going to compare first, and I'm just going to put 3 2/5. I'm going to leave a space and put 1 4/5. So I need to put which one is larger. So I'm going to put up here, make my Pac-Man just so I can practice, so I can see. And I now need to decide which one is bigger. Well, this has 4/5, but it has 1 hole. This has 2/5, but it has 3 holes. I know 3 is larger than 1, so I'm going to compare it like that. If I want to make it a Pac-Man, I can. So this would read 3 2/5 is greater than 1 4/5. Now it says subtract the smaller one from the larger number. So now I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to do 3 2/5 minus 1 4/5. Okay, I am going to draw this out so it can help me. 1, 2, 3, and then I need to draw a fourth box. Well, let's see if this works. I'm going to shade in all of that. I'm going to shade in 2/5. Now I need to do 1 hole and then 4/5. Okay, so let's look at our fraction first. Can I take 4 from 2? No, I can't. I cannot take 4 from 2. So I'm going to need to make one of my boxes into 5. And when I did that, I see I have 2 holes left, so this 3 becomes a 2. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/5, 6/5, 7/5. So that's going to become 7. All I did is change a hole into fifths, and I got 7. Now, can I take 4 from 7? I can. I get 3. My denominator stays the same. Now I'm just going to say 1. I'm sorry, I don't even know why I did not shade this in. Losing it today. Now I'm going to say 1 from 2, and that's 1. So my answer would be that. Now I know it doesn't say add them together, it just says compare and subtract. But your problems that you're going to do later today are you're going to need to add them. So I'm just going to model for you how to add them. So I'm going to do 3 2/5 plus 1 4/5. I'm using the same exact fractions here, as you can see. Now all I'm going to say is my denominator stays the same. 4 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 3 is 4. Now, the problem is I can see I have 6/5. 6/5 is an improper fraction. So I'm going to need to make that proper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm solely focusing on my fraction. This 5 tells me how many it takes to make one whole group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I have 1 left over. So that becomes 1 and 1/5. I have one whole, then one left over, and it's out of 5. I need to add my whole number 4, we can't forget that, and that would be 5 and 1/5. So we have 5 and 1/5 when we add them together. We have 1 and 3/5 when we subtracted them together. And then when we compared, we said 3 and 2/5 is greater than 1 and 4/5. Okay, now let's look at problem number 22. Remember, if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause it, you can always rewind it, and you can watch it as many times as you need to. Move that right there. Now I'm going to do problem 22. And I'm going to compare. So I'm going to put 4 and 1/8, and then 2 and 7/8. So remember, when we compare fractions or numbers, we need to look at the value. So I have 1/8 versus 7/8. Well, we know that 7/8 is bigger, but we also need to see what the whole has to say. This has 4 holes, that has 2 holes. Absolutely, 4 is greater than 2. So it's going to look like that. 4 and 1/8 is greater than 2 and 7/8. Okay, now I'm going to subtract them. I'm going to get the bigger fraction, take it from the smaller fraction. So 4 and 1/8 minus 2 and 7/8. Some of y'all see here in the book that they added them or subtracted them up and down, and I do mine sideways. The reason I do that is because I like to be able to draw my equation out under if I need to, so I can easily match it up. So since I can see that I cannot take 7 from 1, I know I'm going to have to do some borrowing or regrouping. So let me go ahead and draw this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have to do my fraction. So let me shade in 4 holes, and then 1/8, and then I need to do 2 holes, and then I'll do 7/8. Oh, once again, I forgot to color this second. Sharpie or highlighter is seeing better days. Okay, so can I take 7 from 1? No, I can't. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to get one of these holes and break it into 8ths. Now I can see that I have 3 holes, so this is going to become a 3. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 eighths. So this 1 is going to become a 9. Now, can I take 7 from 9? Yes, I can. That gets 2. Denominator doesn't change. And then 2 from 3 is 1. So I would have gotten 1 and 2/8. Now, real quickly, I do see here that 2 and 8, there's something that just seems to, I just have a math fact that keeps thinking in my head. I know that 2 and 8 go into both of them. So I could also do my factor tree if I want. 2 and 8, 1 and 2, 1 and 8. How else can I make 8? 2 and 4. I hope y'all don't hear Duncan snoring in the side. I promise it's not a human, it's my dog snoring. My lesson is not that boring, but it's not as exciting as other ones, but we're getting through it. Okay, so now I see that they both have 2 in common. So I would divide by 2, and I get 1. 2 goes into 1 time, 2 goes into 8 4 times, and then my whole number does not change. So 1 and 1/4 is equivalent to 1 and 2/8. Okay, Now, last thing I need to do is I need to add them together. I'm throwing this bonus in here so you understand what to do. So my denominator doesn't change, it stays 8. 7 plus 1 is 8. 2 plus 4 is 6. Now, I see that 8 over 8, and that's an improper fraction. Whenever the denominator is equal to or less than the numerator, it's an improper fraction. So I'm going to draw 8 dots. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And how many does it take to make a group? 8. So I see that that is 1 whole plus the 6 that I already had, which equals 7. So that's how I compared these two fractions, I subtracted these two fractions, and now I've added these two fractions. So now what I'd like for you to do on a Google form is you are going to do number 7 through 20. It says compare each pair of fractions, then add to find the total, and subtract the smaller one from the larger one to find the difference. So for number 7 through 12, you are going to compare, you are going to subtract, and you are going to add these fractions just like I did here. Then for 13 through 18, you are simply just going to add or subtract. And then 19 and 20, you are going, it says compare the mixed numbers, then find the total, which means add them, and then you are going to subtract, which means, or find the difference. So you're going to do 7 through 12, compare, subtract, and add. 13 through 18, you're going to do just what the problem says, and 19 and 20, you are going to compare, subtract, and add. If you have any questions, please, please, please let me know.